The Argonauts, a band of heroes in Greek mythology who accompanied Jason in the years before the Trojan War to Colchis in his quest to find the Golden Fleece. Those familiar with the story and Greek mythology would immediately link the word Argonaut to them, and so would anybody else in the general audience who decides to Google the word Argonaut. But for Danmachi fans, it means something much, much more.
アルゴノート。ファルナなど存在しなかった古代初期を舞台にした物語。童話、戯曲、風刺。今も数々の説話として受け継がれる一人の男の英雄譚。歴代の英雄の中でも圧倒的にひ弱で冴えない英雄。実在したかも定かではなく、道化などとも呼ばれることがある。しかし不思議なことに、彼を始まりの英雄と、そんな風に呼ぶ者もいる。時代的観点から見れば、始まりという呼び名はふさわしくない。事実、彼が世に現れる以前にも、英雄は存在している。ではなぜ、アルゴノートは、始まりの英雄などと呼ばれるのか。あいにく、語り部は俺じゃない。ふさわしい人物がいる。どうか教えてほしい。彼の軌跡を。偽らざる、彼の真の物語を。
小さき君に誓いを掲げ、光垂れと甲子園に。
これはとある滑稽な男の話。不相応な望みを持ち、幾多の思惑に翻弄され、それでも愚者を貫いた一人の道化の物語。どうか期待しないでほしい。ここに綴られているものはきっとあなたの望むものじゃない。そしてどうか語り継がないでほしい。ここにあるのは自己満足、語り部の決まり。ただ誰かに覚えていてほしいという私のわがままに過ぎないのだ。さあ、喜劇を始めましょう。
The Great Tale of Argonaut was written by Fujino Omori for the second anniversary of Danmachi Memoria Freese, and it takes place 3,000 years before the events of Danmachi and Belcranel's story. As some of you may know through the light novel, anime, or manga of the main Danmachi storyline, the tale of Argonaut has been passed on from generation to generation, with even individuals such as Tiona being avid fans of the tale. But Fujino Omori, for the first time ever at this moment in time during the second anniversary of Danmachi Memoria Freese, decided to tell the true story of Argonaut and how he came to be a hero and why he was considered the hero of the beginning. The tale of Argonaut is, chronologically speaking, the first story in the timeline and is considered to be Danmachi's episode 0. With its success and how adored it is by fans, it has since received requests to be adapted into an anime, and while that has not happened yet, the Tale of Argonaut has been released from its shackles of being a game-only story to now having received a light novel adaptation, with Volume 1 releasing on 14th of July 2023 and Volume 2 releasing on the 30th of August 2023 in Japan. To commemorate the release of Argonaut in Japan and to look back on the tale, this video will be delving into why Argonaut is revered by fans and why to many it is also considered as Fujino Omori's best work for the entirety of the Danmachi franchise. Just like any story, we must take a look at the start of the Argonaut tale in order to explain what makes the Argonaut tale so good. We begin with the introduction to Argonaut and his adopted sister Fina, and frankly, based on the start, you would think that Argonaut is a straight up idiot. he's a pervert, and he's effectively a clown. However, there were moments that would immediately raise questions about his behaviors and his abilities, such as his speed and his good heart in believing others while also helping others on a regular basis. We also get introduced to certain key cast members such as Yuri, Elmina, Galmus, and Ryulu relatively early in the story, as they all convene at what is the ancient capital city of Lakrios, as the king of the land sends out a notice for potential heroes, as he would grant the request of any of those who would become a hero and fulfill his tasks. Now, the city of Lakrios is very important in the story, as it is likened to be a paradise and a fertile land, but it hosts an extremely dark secret, one that would make this so-called paradise an absolute sham, and it would be unveiled by our jester and his band of heroes. You also might be wondering, where are the gods? Well, this story takes place at the very start of the Age of Heroes, about 2,000 years before the beginning of the Age of Gods, and at this moment in time, no god has descended to Gekkai, and as a result, this is a world without fauna. This is a world without status.
これは悪しき猛牛よ、ミノタウロスを倒すだけの物語。そうだ、たった一匹の魔物を倒すだけ。だがこの一歩をもって人類は前進する。どうか約束してほしい。この偉業が果たされた時、皆の手で神話を紡ぐと。嘆きと絶望の時代は終わった。これより始まるは英雄の時代。人類反撃の罵しを上げるその時だ。私は今より英雄たちの船になろう。だからどうか私の後についてくれ、勇者たちよ。
約束しよう。必ずや貴様の後に続くと、英雄の灯火は途絶えさせると。
我が誇りに誓おう。弱者が挙げた方向を今も眠る強者に聞かせると。
この名にかけて果たしましょう。あなたの物語を必ずや世界の果てまで届けると。
よろしい。ならば神々よ、ご承覧あれ。この時をもって新たな時代を切り開く。私がアルゴノートだ。
This is in fact one of the key reasons why the Argonaut story is so beloved by fans, as it takes place during an era where humans, elves, dwarves, and many other beings lived without the intervention of any god, and is far more grounded as you see the development of characters as they become stronger, not just in strength, but in their character, personality, behaviors, and so much more. Each character in the story has their own story to tell and their own journeys to follow, and Omori sensei executes each storyline in a way that has been very difficult to match for many of his other storylines. Furthermore, another reason why the Tale of Argonaut is rated so highly by fans is because it had succeeded in achieving what Danmachi had set out to be very early on, being a story of a hero's rise. As mentioned earlier, Argonaut is a weak pervert, he's a clown, but he was also so much more than just that. He was ambitious. He wanted to be a hero despite being all the above, and in fact, his reasoning for doing so was even more special. He wanted to inspire others by showing them that if a clown like him could become a hero, so could everyone. This was an age with no gods. This was an age where monsters were overrunning Gekkai and people were giving up, and as such, a hero was needed. Part 1, and most likely Volume 1 of the light novel of the Argonaut tale, shows Argonaut's fallacies in great detail, with his reliance on Fina's magic powers and him being so trustworthy of others that led to him nearly losing it all, being betrayed and nearly left for dead. With Fina sent to the gallows and scheduled for execution, and the band of heroes questioning their morals and wondering if the paradise that they are living in is worth sacrificing their lives and humanity for, this is the moment where you could say that all is lost. However, not for Argonaut. He smiles. He reaffirms his vows. He moves. He obtains a power not for himself but to save his sister and friends. He yells to the gods that it is his story and he will dictate, write, and finish it on his own accord. And the gods watched. They watched him do it. They watched him fight. They watched him use a power that was too much. They watched as he was blinded. They watched as his body failed. They watch as he vows to be reborn, as he defeats the monster, that he would finish the fight on his own rather than get help from the princess as he did in this story. They watch as he ignores the pain and ensures that Orna not tell the world the darkest parts of his story, so that the story would be one of comedy, love, and the story of the clown who became a hero. They watch as he dies, content with the fact that his story will inspire others to rise up, to carry the moniker of being a hero, as many others did, and fight against the monsters during the Age of Heroes until the Age of Gods, who obviously wanted to be entertained and came to Gekkai. They watch as the heroes died out during the Age of Gods, but Argonaut's legacy was still being carried out as a new hero arrived to Orario, brimmed with knowledge and a desire to become a hero. And their vow was fulfilled as they were reborn, and they fought. They fought, and he won without help. The tale of Argonaut is not one of happiness and positivity, as at many points you see the darker side of the tale, with Lakrios and the king holding a dark secret wherein they host a monster, Minos, a minotaur, and the king uses a chain to control it, with the payment of control being his own blood. As a result, he sacrifices his own blood in the form of his parents, wife, brothers, and sisters to keep the chain controlling Minos working. He believed in the saying that the ends justify the means, and as our heroes band together to save Princess Ariadne, as she is the latest family member to be set up for being a sacrifice, there are many tones in this story that show the true pains and struggles of living in such an era, and why people were so close to giving up, with no heroes to show up, with monsters roaming the world of Gekkai, and with Minos being a monster in itself. People had nothing to live for. However, as the tale has been passed on from generation to generation, and with Argonaut's final promise being fulfilled of not mentioning the lower points of being a hero, people were inspired. People were motivated. People were becoming heroes, and as a result, Argonaut's greatest dream was fulfilled. Now, it must also be noted that Argonaut and his band of heroes are the past lives of characters such as Belle, Lafia, Ryu, and many others. And while this is a very subjective take on whether the souls and reincarnation plot point is a good or bad thing, it is genuinely amazing to see some of the parallels between the story of 3,000 years ago and the story of now, and vows that were promised are even carried on to today's story. But let's take it back to the topic of this video. What makes the Argonaut story Omori Sensei's best work? To me, it's a combination of various factors. It is the grounded storytelling. It is the characters and their journeys. It is the ambition. It is the ideals. It is the dream. It is the heroes. That's what makes the tale of Argonaut so good, and I would highly recommend that if you haven't read the novels or if you haven't read the story in game, please make sure to go ahead and do so. You will absolutely not regret a single moment. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Of course, leave your own thoughts on the tale of Argonaut down below in the comments if you have read it already. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like down below. Subscribe to the channel for more Danmachi content. And I will see you guys in the next one. Take it easy, everybody. Bye-bye.